like a bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. A step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings. Happy New Year. It's 2020, the year of jokes about eyesight. We're here to party like we're from 1920, which was a time of great partying, according to the Great Gatsby. All right. So this afternoon we worked on envelope E2, and envelope E2 is a part of the Split Decision album. Ugh, California Undo left a bunch of junk on my desk on my project. So, we are continuing on with this project. I'm going to try and finish it. Yeah, the Roaring 20s. Or the Gilded Age. Where things went pretty well until the economy crashed. Alright, so... but yeah, you can read The Great Gatsby if you want to learn more about the Gilded Age. I mean, you could probably read other books. That's literally the only one I can think of. So that's the only recommendation you're getting from me. All right. I'm just trying to pick up this sticky junk that got left behind by the California Undo so that I can ink it up. All right, so I'm going to just ink this raw edge now, and then that'll finish off this folder. Like I said, this is envelope E2. It's on the back of the second large page. All right, now that's inked. All right. So we've got that. We made another Franken paper. Got to start the year off right with a Franken paper. We have a double quad folio, or a quad Polaroid, so it's an octoroid. It's an octoroid. It will squeeze you to death. Squeeze you to death with its 8 arms. Oh, Kitty, hello. You gonna come say hi? Are you gonna come say hi? Or are you just gonna grump around on the floor? She said, I'm gonna grump around on the floor. All right, so with this one, we just need to decorate the front and then cover the back. Kitty, you gonna come up here? Are you gonna let them see you? Or are you gonna be aloof? An aloof kittles. Well, friends, I think she's gonna be an aloof kittles. Sorry. I'm sorry. But you know how Kitty can be. She can be a little stingy with her appearance time. All right, so let's see, what have we got? All right, so let's use this. No cameo from Kitty. I know, what a jerk. What a jerk Kitty can be. So this one's a possibility, or maybe this is a good place to use a square. I mean, it's not, nah. All right, I kind of like this yellow one, so let's go for that. Or actually, let's use the yellow one over here. There we go. Then we'll use this one over here. Has Tiny recovered from the afternoon betrayal? I literally have not seen Tiny Cat since I made her get off my lap this afternoon so I could come do the show. So I'm guessing the answer is no. She has not recovered. Kitty left. Kitty left. She's like, I'm out of here. This. So, thanks, Kitty. All right, so those are our starting off points. But no, neither of them are squares. Neither of them are squares. All right, let's look at our other little doodads that we can add. Let's see. The cats are not having it today. That's true. We haven't picked a book yet, Donna. I'm going to leave the voting up over the weekend, and then whatever wins is the winner when I get up on Monday is the winner. So, I mean, like I said earlier, it's probably going to be Cinders unless something like significantly changes. So if it's not that, it'll be probably the Goose Girl, which is in second place. But Cinders has like more votes than the other two books combined. So it would really take something. So it would take Priya telling all her friends to join and vote for something else. So, but yeah, it'll probably be Cinder. And if it's not, it'll be the Snow Child. It'll be the Snow Child. Okay. So what that's in reference to is we're going to be doing book reading on this show, not on this show, but as part of the show in 2020. We're going to have a book club, very low key, where just we'll all read the same book, or anyone who wants to. We'll just do the one book. We would just read the first book. I don't know if they're like a series like in a sequence, or if they're just the same idea with different fairy tale people. So, but yeah, we would only do the one. So we will all read the same book. It'll be announced at the beginning of the month. And then the last Thursday, the discussion, you know, what I talk about on the show will be that book. So at the end of the month, on the last Thursday of the month. So so yeah, so it's just the one book. It's just the one book. All right. I think that's a pretty good start. I think you can go in this bag because you're technically a square. All right. I'm going to leave Remember the Good Times on my desk. I'm just going to put it over here. See if I can find a place to use it. So yeah, we'll just read Cinder. Okay, so this is what I've got. I just need to now find a pattern paper that will look cute behind this. It's not going to be that. Definitely not. We're going to do this every month. We're going to try and read, we're going to try and read 10 books is what I'm shooting for. There may be like a month we have to take off for one reason or another. Like we probably won't do one in December, for example. So I'm going to say we're shooting for 10. We're shooting for 10. But if we all hate it, then, you know, we'll just do one. If we're like, well, that was a nice try, but it didn't work, then that's that, you know. I mean, I don't think we will, but who knows? Gotta leave our options open. Okay. So we really just need to find something that this pattern looks good on. But yeah, it'll at least give us something to talk about. That'll be a little bit interesting. Reading 10 books, the average number of books an American reads in a year is 12. And that is skewed by people who read high numbers of books. The number given most commonly by Americans is 4. So, so if we read 10, we'll be at over double what most people do. We could just read 8 and we'd still be... I think I'm seeing why I haven't used this yet, because honestly, like, I just don't know. Jill says, do slutty novels count? They probably count their books. I mean, for the purposes of the poll that I saw about how many books a year people read, a number of people said they read part of one book. So I've never counted how many books I read, but I read for a couple hours every night before bed. And I go through several books a month. So, I mean, I would guess this year I actually made a goal to keep track of it and to see if I want to read 48 books. So that's the goal I set myself, 4 books a month. But I wouldn't be surprised if I just routinely, I've already been reading more books than that. I think we haven't used this because this pattern, this like pile of paper, you know, that's kind of making it hard. I don't want to sound like a baby, but you know, I don't think any of the paper that I have left. Well, what about? So I think I'm just gonna have to pick something else. I'm not, for whatever reason, that I can't make that work right now. So let's find something else. Raven, I used to work back when we lived in Washington D.C. and I worked full time. The minimum my the minimum I drove each way, that was with normal traffic, if nothing weird happened, was 50 minutes. And I had Audible back then, and I listened to so many books. So many books. All right, I'm going to use this instead. I think I can make this work. So yeah, I listen to so many books that way. Donna says she's addicted to Audible with cordless earbuds. Yes. Absolutely. You can do 2 things at once. And a study was recently released where they had people reading and they looked at their brain activity on fMRI, and they had people listening to audiobooks and they looked at their brain activity on fMRI, and their brain activity is the same. It's exactly the same. So listening to a book is the same experience as reading it as far as the brain's concerned. So if anyone ever says, I don't think this happens as much, but it used to happen before, like back when I was working, I would say I read and they'd be like, didn't you listen to that? It's like, oh, that is reading, man. And now we know it is reading. Oh, happy birthday, Raven. Priya says, growing up, parents didn't allow us a lot of TV time, so books became great companions. Yes. Books are great. I've always loved reading. So, all right, I think we're just, let's see. I'm gonna look. Okay, I like that a little bit better. I like this for the record also. So let's see if we can find some paper that's gonna make it work. I like reading more than listening to audio. It depends on what I'm doing, and it depends on the book. I read faster than I talk. So a lot of times, reading, if I'm really interested in something and really excited about it, I'll want to read it. But certain things don't need to concentrate on that much, or I want to do it while I'm doing something else. And those things I don't mind listening on audio. But really, if I'm going to be doing something else, typically what I'll do is I'll be listening to a podcast instead. Like if my brain's, if I would be having headphones, I usually listen to a podcast or just like read. Because if I lose concentration, I don't care as much. It has a lot to do with what I'm doing. With audio, you have to be a good person. Yeah, Raven says with audio, you have to be a good person doing the reading. Yes, absolutely. And I saw this hilarious thing. So Judi Dench, her daughter's a famous audiobook reader. Like, she's read a ton of audiobooks. And she was talking about how her mother tried to read one and quit after like 2 hours. So... I like the black and white on the paper, but it's like so busy, so I don't think it's quite gonna work for me. I mean, this one might be better, or it just might be busier. Maybe I just don't know how to craft anymore. Oh, that's way worse. Okay, so I think we're... Why am I so bad at crafting today? Okay, that's okay. For when I'm working, I have to, whatever is on has to be something that if I miss what's going on, I don't care. So I no longer do audiobooks because I tend to zone in very hard on what I'm doing. Yeah, this is just... I just don't know how to craft anymore. I just forgot. It's how it is. I went on vacation and now I can't craft. All right, that's better. Okay. Donna, my entire family refused to go shopping the whole time they were here. It's like they want to hang out as a family or something and just like play games and talk to each other. It was, so we didn't, but we did cook up the idea of doing it as like a Scrappy Bowl add-on. So anyone who, if anyone decides to crash Scrappy Bowl, I'm going to have them go with me. So the issue is the Polaroids. So let's deal with it. Let me see what I wanted. I'm just going to cut off the Polaroids. Now, next month, the prompt is to read a National Book Award winner. So, I already started doing my research on that one. So, that's what I'm going to try and... So, anyone who's planning on crashing Scrappy Bowl, be prepared to go to HSN store. And we can film some video. Maybe do a Facebook Live until they kick us out. Alright. So, hopefully I was right and the problem was the Polaroids. But I was asked earlier how I made the short list of the books, and what I did is I found a list on Book Riot called 100 adaptations from fairy tales for you to read. And I went through all 100 of them. And can you place orders while we're at HSN? That'd be funny. If they let me do Facebook Live, I can just start taking orders. That would be funny. I went through all 100 of them and eliminated a lot based on either the genre or content or reviews or whatever. And I was left with a list of about 10. And then I winnowed that down to try and provide a mix of genres. So that's how I went through it. For the National Book Awards, I've just been looking at lists of National Book Award winners, and I'm probably gonna pull all from the fiction category. Paris Trout is a great National Book Award winner. Thank you, Jeannie. And I'm going to try and just do 3 from now on in the poll. So I'm going to try and be a little bit better about narrowing it down. Should we make this a pocket? Put a little journaling spot on the back of this. I like the for the record right here. Can we do 1 month fiction and then 1 month nonfiction from the National Book Award list? We could. There might be a nonfiction book on the prompt list. Let's see. Let me get the list and find out. Let me look at the list. Dun, dun, dun. I saved it on my phone. Okay. See, there's some I'm thinking about skipping. Like, one is a book set in your home state, in which case that would actually have to change to a book set in, depending on how you defined home state, either California, which is where I was born, or Florida, which is where I live now. We've got a book in translation. We've got New York Times bestsellers, books that are becoming movies this year, which I looked at a list for that, and they all looked bad. So, I mean, they didn't all look bad, but a lot of them were really older. Like, book that takes place during the summer. There's on here a self-improvement book, which we could just read nonfiction instead of self-improvement, which I, okay, so where are we going to put this? Okay, I'm going to cut this out. So we shall see. Maybe we can have maybe a viewer's choice where you vote on each other's suggestions. And I don't pick. But I want to read this year A Woman of No Importance, or A Woman of Little Importance. Which is about a U.S. spy in World War II. Oh, sir. Candy said, isn't there a book series about a scrapbooker? We should read one of those. And then Jill said, Hugh Hefner. He is a scrapbooker. It's true. It's true. Or was, I guess he finally has moved on to his eternal reward. But there's a couple, I know there's a cozy mystery series where the protagonist works in a craft store and she teaches Zen tangling classes. Specifically the Zen tangling I remember. Well, I made a scrapbook about all the books I read one year. That was the year where my goal was to read a book a day, which I did not do. But that's okay, because I knew when I set the goal it was an unrealistic goal. Hi. Yeah. Are you going to be the New Year cat? The New Year cat? And then there's a book called Sweet Haven Summer, which I think is about scrapbooking, or scrapbooking plays into it. Cinder is Tiny Cat, watch your feet. Tiny Cat has no sense of self-preservation. Laura Childs has a series about a scrapbook store owner. Well, and I read one that was set in New Orleans. Like the scrapbooking store was in New Orleans and there was a murder there. So, Tiny, what you doing? What you doing? Okay, just being grumpy. Got it. Just being mad. Okay, so that's the Laura Childs one. All right. So maybe we can have a month that's a crafting month. All right, so Tiny, what's going on? Are you okay, buddy? Do you know you're not okay, are you? Okay, that's yours now. Thank you. Thank you very much. You gotta sniff everything? All right. Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm very sorry. She's gonna distress it for me. Sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be Paw Patrol night. All right, what if we put, remember that she always wants to kill the bone folder. We could put remember the good times on this. Like this. Do you have to be so destructive? She's being really, she's not a very loud cat, but she's being very quiet tonight. All right, Tiny. All right. All right, I'm going to cover up the hole with good, and then we'll put a journaling spot on the back. Tiny cat, causing problems. So Cinders is a speculative fiction. Don't eat it. That's not okay for cats. Cinders is speculative fiction. Are you licking the ink? That's also not okay for cats. You can't do this. Okay? You're gonna die. You're gonna die, tiny cat. You're gonna die. You gotta stop eating crafting supplies. Okay. Wow. Tiny cat does not listen. At all. At all. You don't listen at all. I know. She said, your projects are dumb. I don't like them. They don't have enough cat nibbles. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edges of this with a Sharpie in, hopefully I have a dark blue Sharpie. I don't think I do. I only have this really bright looking blue. Let's just see what it looks like first. Oh no, no. All right. So Sharpie's not gonna be an option. She's re-inking for me. She's gonna re-ink it for me. All right, so we need then if we want this to have any blue on it, we'll have to use the cardstock, which is fine. We can use the cardstock. So I'm gonna just put a thin layer of that. Alcohol marker. Oh, good idea. Maybe Prussian blue will work over here. Hi. Okay. All right. Let's try it. This may be too thin, but we'll see. Yeah, I think it's too thin. I think I'm just going to have to do cardstock. That's fine. It was a good suggestion, though. Now we can use this in the future when we really do just want that thin line. All right. Let's get some tiny cat drool. All right, I'm gonna stick this down. Tiny cat. Why are you just sitting there? Are you bored? Do you hate the Mandalorian, Tiny Cat? She has a new routine that she's developed the last couple weeks where around 9 o'clock while we're watching, you know, a show before bed, she'll come over and sit on my chair and stare at me until I put my sweater in my lap. And then as soon as I put my sweater in my lap, she curls up in it and goes to sleep. And then sleeps there until we go to bed. So I think maybe she's up here like, why are you here and not in your chair? You're not in the correct place. I'm here for sweater time, and sweater time is not happening. I'd like to lodge a complaint with the complaint department. Anyway, Cinders, let me try and describe it one more time. And if you want to read about the books in more detail, I put links to their listings on Amazon. But Cinders is speculative fiction. Cinder herself is a cyborg mechanic with an evil stepmother. And the prince seems to be someone she is going to have to save the world with. I know, I'm going to be Tiny Cat left. Good. She was making me uncomfortable. I don't like it when she just stares at me because I feel like she's plotting my murder. Yeah, that's what it needs, just that blue. And then we'll make this a pocket. So, it's definitely... but it's extremely, extremely popular. So, and then the other two choices are The Snow Child, which is a retelling of The Snow Child, which is set in Alaska in 1920. And that one was nominated for a Pulitzer and is also very popular, although it's not as popular as Cinder. And then the third choice is Haroun and the Sea of Stories by Salman Rushdie, which is based on 1001 Nights and an Indian collection of stories from the 11th century called The Ocean of Stories. So those are the three. And of course, we've talked about this on the show before. Salman Rushdie, considered to be one of the greatest living authors of the English language. So I think they're all going to be good choices, but I haven't read any of them, so I don't know. But you can read more about them in the post about book club or the post about the poll. I think the links are in both, or they're definitely in the poll. Jeannie says that she's read all three and The Snow Child is her favorite of the three. I think The Snow Child is, I said before, Cinder is the most popular, and Haroun and the Sea of Stories is the most critically regarded, but The Snow Child is both highly critically regarded and popular, so it's the sort of the middle sweet spot. So one of them will win, and it will probably be Cinder, but we shall see. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like a cheater pocket, which is where we don't really make it a pocket. We just put glue on 3 sides. I mean, I guess it's technically a pocket, but you know, it doesn't have flaps. Okay, so I'm going to take a pen. Cinder is the first of the Lunar Chronicles, yes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn these white stitches black. And then I'm going to cut off these white stitches from the end here. And like I said earlier today, you know, you don't need to spend money on this. You know, ask at your library for these books. See if you can get them for free. Oh, don't you guys love it when I almost cut off my fingers? Isn't that your favorite? It's my favorite. All right. Okay, so now I just need to kind of figure out where to cut this so that the stitches will line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Post-it and then just cut it up. No bleeding and crafting. There's lots of bleeding and crafting, lots of crying and crafting. Okay. So now we can stick this down. But, so I'm gonna add that, and then this goes in the pocket. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is just on the back, I'm gonna put a journaling spot with my biggest punch. which is this big 3-inch punch that I keep on the other side of the room. I'm going to use this white and all right. So just going to ink up this 3-inch circle and glue it to the back of this. And then that'll make a nice little pocket. Then we'll just put some pattern paper on the back. All right, perfect. So tonight I had to get on the phone with Amazon because my Kindle's not working. And I'm like, how am I supposed to have a book club if my Kindle isn't working? So I called them and I told them about all my problems, and the guy was like, I think you just need to send it back. He said, these are really simple devices. They're not supposed to have a lot of problems. He said, so it sounds like you just got a lemon. And I was like, oh, cool, great. So going back. All right, so on the back, we're going to put something just to clean it up. I wonder if I have anything big enough. Now, this scrap is big enough, but I wonder if we can Franken paper or something. How the heck did I cut this thing? So the way I cut them in this one. I cut a piece out like from this corner, and this one is this corner. So I actually can't remake it. So fine. we'll just use the back of this. All right, so I know, got to use every inch of this paper. I don't want to run out. Letitia, we are making an album called the Split Decision Album, which combines full-size pages and half-size pages in the same binding. It has a special split binding to accommodate that. We're using the Photobomb paper from Paper Phenomenon. And right now we're working on inserts for one of our envelopes. And I'm hoarding the paper. On this show we do a lot of Franken paper, which is when we stick papers together to make new papers so that we don't have to cut a fresh 12 by 12 sheet. So welcome. All right, I forgot to ink this, of course. Anyway, so I told Amazon, I was like, well, I mean, I had a Kindle Oasis before and I loved it for years and years. And I've had this Kindle Paperwhite for 2 weeks and I hate it. Is there any way I can upgrade, like, give you some money and upgrade to an Oasis? And he said, well, we just give you the refund and then you just buy the Oasis. And I said, well, except I got a 25% off on the Paperwhite because, wait, this is too long. Hold on, gotta cut it down. Kathryn's always cutting stuff twice. Well, it just didn't work from, like, it has problem after problem after problem. And I told the guy, I'm like, I'm sure if you sent me a new one, it would work and it would be fine, but I'm kind of soured on Paperwhites at the moment, you know. So they gave me 25% off a Kindle Oasis. Or they didn't give me 25% off a Kindle Oasis. They gave me a credit on my Amazon account that was the equivalent of 25% of the price of a Kindle Oasis so that I could use it to get 25% off a Kindle Oasis. So that was nice. So I am going to do that. All right. So that's that insert done. So we'll add it to our pile of inserts. Here's our Franken paper from earlier. And now we just have to finish this one off. Yes, I'm using the physical collection, but I do also have it. Well, I thought I would love it too, Gretchen. And the reason I bought the Oasis in the first place was because at the time that I bought the Oasis, it was the only waterproof Kindle e-reader, hence the name. But then they made the Paperwhite waterproof, so I figured I didn't need an Oasis anymore because they're more expensive. But one of the things that I have disliked about the Paperwhite since I've gotten it, which is not something that's broken, but just a feature, is I miss the button. I didn't realize how much more I liked using the button than pressing the screen. So I'm just done with Paperwhites. As you know, I am the queen of like problems that aren't really problems. So there you go. All right, so now we need something to go behind this that will look cute. So let's pull out our scraps. Pull out our scrap bag and see what we can get done with scrappities. Scrappy scraps. All right, so I've got this red. And if we backed this with blue and stuck it like down here, that could be really cool. And then on the back, Monica, we were talking, your tire was punctured. No, we were talking about how if we end up having a group of people for Scrappy Bowl that we could go, there's an HSN. Did you know there's an HSN retail store or resale store here in the Tampa Bay area where they sell like stuff that gets returned for like cheap? Because I did not until just recently. And now I want to go. I think we'll use this. So okay, I'm guessing by your OMG that you also did not know. So I think that we need a field trip. Okay, ooh, this one, oh, this one's slightly too small. The quilted page turned out really nicely. All right, I'll figure out the back later. I'm gonna cut this down to, I don't know, 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, so I like this yellow. I just think it needs a blue space. You will rent a truck or bring the SUV. Just don't bring the motorcycle. You're going to try and balance like 3 crickets on the back of it or something. I can just see Monica trying to balance crickets on the back of her motorcycle. All right, so I'm going to cut this out, this place photo here. And we'll make a little insert. We'll turn this into a pocket. All right. Now I need cardstock to make my little quickie pocket. Sidecars. Yeah, just like Monica rolls up to the border with a sidecar filled with crickets and she's like, no, I don't have anything to declare. Don't worry about it. So, Letitia, welcome to the Glitter Gang. We are live twice on Thursdays, once at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. So we work on thank you, May. Can you download books to iPads? Yes, with the Kindle app. And also some libraries have ebooks that you can rent. So like you link your library card to their system, and you can take out ebooks from your library as well. Some libraries. All right, so I'm just gonna, once again, we're gonna do just the thin blue line. So Gretchen said, if you never had the button, you don't miss the button. I'm sure that's true. I had a Kindle Paperwhite before I had a Kindle Oasis. And I got, like I said, I got the Kindle Oasis because it was waterproof. So I could read by the pool and in the tub without worrying about ruining a Kindle. And I got used to that button, man. I got used to that button. Good night, Sandra. Monica, I know that there are European online libraries, so I would not be surprised if there was a Canadian online library as well. All right, so we're going to take this, and I'm just going to put it in the corner. The super skinny mat is the biggest scrapbooking trend of 2019. I tried very hard to make colored bases a trend for 2019. Colored album bases. That was my goal. Oh, too funny. Congratulations on your split, Artemis. All right, so I was ahead of my time. That'll be 2020. All right. We'll see. So, but yeah, check out your library, see what your library has going on. I know not all library systems are created equal, but you might be surprised by how much cool stuff your library has. Like my library has like 5 or 6 different systems for checking out ebooks online. So they're involved in multiple ones. Oh my gosh, they have a makerspace at mine. My library, the one that's like closest to me, has a cafe in it with coffee and sandwiches. At my library, well, oh, I guess you're not talking about downtown Tampa, but yeah, all of the libraries here. The super skinny mat is the very thin blue mat. Instead of doing 1/4 of an inch, so it's 1/8 of an inch all the way around. But so yeah, like one of my libraries in my area has a recording space. Like if you want to record videos for YouTube, and camera equipment you can rent and stuff. It's just like libraries are really, a lot of libraries are really trying to give people reasons to come and stay providing the community with what they're interested in. So, but yeah, we're just, so Monica's library has Cricut Explorers, a wide format printer, a vinyl cutter. Nice. Lots going on at Monica's library. So, yeah, check out your library if you haven't been in a while, because first of all, if you read a lot, they can save you a ton of money. Like if you read around 50 books a year, that's like $800 that your library can save you if you get them all from the library. And if you prefer ebooks, like I said, a lot of libraries you can get ebooks. All right, so I'm going to put a little tiny journaling spot on the back of this. Candy's going to road trip. Candy, are you going to road trip over and print 12 by 12s? I wonder how much, yeah, how much does it cost to print 12 by 12s? All right, so let me measure what this is. So this is not quite 3 inches by 3.5 inches. So I'll do 2.5 by 3. And I'm just going to glue it because it's faster. $1 per foot. Maybe like you can put a roll on it, Monica, and print a banner. Because I know some of the Epson wide format printers, they have a roll of paper. So that may be what they mean when they say they're going to charge by foot. I'm just going to premium paper. I wonder what that is. I like how we're all really invested in Monica's library now. We're like, ooh. What's, Well, Jill said you might be able to print your digital prints on their large format cheaper than Kinko's. Well, especially if you wanted to like fancy up your like put words on your photos or anything like that. Okay. So now we just need to put, while this dries, let's put something on the back. let's just go ahead and do this. 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. I'm keeping the backs pretty plain. You can decorate the backs if you want, but I think they slide in and out easier if they all have plain backs, because that keeps the backs smooth. All right. Good thing. Yes, good thing, Monica. Yeah, we just had to put new tires on our car, and not too long ago, it needed a new alternator. Which by new, I mean refurbished, because I wasn't going to pay for a new alternator on a car that was 11 years old. But we did get new tires. We didn't get refurbished tires. So that was one of the main reasons why we restarted our Costco membership, was to get the tires, because Costco's got good prices on tires, and Costco's tires have a warranty, which if you've ever wondered if that's just BS, it's not, because we once got a nail in a tire we bought from Costco, and we were like, well, I guess we'll find out, you know, if the warranty's like just made up or not, you know. And so we took it in, and they're like, yeah, you'll get an $87 discount on your replacement tire. And we were like, what? No. So yes, their warranty is actually good. All right, so on the insert, we just put at the top, and I think it's, yeah, it's 1 inch by 4 1/4, and I'm just gonna use, what do you want to use? The blueprint? It's kind of dull. No, let's just use this up. Yeah. Well, Jill, we're trying to get, our goal is to get 250,000 miles out of this one. So that's our goal. And we have about 100,000 miles to go. So we've done about 150. So that's our goal. We will see how we do. Oh, we just got these new tire pressure valves. You can get, they change color if the tire pressure is correct for the tire or not. So like They come in all different PSI. You buy the PSI for your tire, and then you put this, it's just a new valve. And if they're all green, all the tires have the right pressure. And then if if they need a little bit of air, they turn yellow. And if they need a lot of air and they're unsafe to drive, they turn red. So you can just like walk around your car and always know if your tire pressure is right or not. And we got them because our tire pressure sensors went out, and it was like 45 bucks each to change them. And we were like, well, we'll sleep on that and see if we need them. And so then we Googled around and we found these, which were way, way cheaper. Okay, so Ella says, say that again about the colors. So, it goes on your valve, and you buy it per the PSI that's your goal. Okay, so whatever your car tires PSI recommendation is, that's the one you buy. If your tire is at that PSI, then it's green. But if the PSI goes down, then what happens is that the green sinks and yellow gets revealed. And if it goes down even further, the yellow sinks and red gets revealed. And then when you fill it up, it pushes the green back to the top. So it's mechanical. It's not electronic. Like, they're not sensing the actual tire pressure. So and that's what we got instead of replacing all the tire pressure monitors for our car. Yeah, our car does too, Ella, but all our sensors are bad. All our sensors are dead. So, at Costco, they're like, you can get new sensors, but they're like 45 bucks each. So we did not get them, and we just got these things. So, and then the Toyota sometimes gets confused and is like, your tires are, so what happens is the Toyota can go one of two ways, where it can either be like, it can either think your tires are totally messed up or your tires are fine. So they told us, if your Toyota thinks your tires are totally messed up, then it may be so annoying you want to get them replaced. He said, but sometimes it just thinks your tires are totally fine. And with ours so far, it's thought that the tires are totally fine, which we're pretty happy about. So we just replaced them with these things. But, we don't live in a climate that, where the temperature changes a lot. So it's pretty easy to maintain a tire pressure anyway. So it's not that big of a deal, but we found something that was way cheaper than replacing all the tires. I mean, not like it would have killed us, but, because we do like to keep the car going, because the way it's going to make it to 250,000 is by us taking care of it. But did I tell you guys about my sister's cursed car? We've talked about her cursed Volkswagen, right? We've talked about that on the show before. Did I tell you that she got a new car? I don't know what we have talked about since we were last here. But anyways, like 2 days after she got the new car, she got a letter from a lawyer about a settlement of a class action lawsuit with Volkswagen over the water pressure valve or whatever, which was exactly what was wrong with her car when we sold it to Hyundai. So, and the settlement was to pay for, if you'd already had it repaired, to reimburse you 100%. And if you hadn't had it repaired yet, to get a new one. So that's actually a pretty strict settlement, which means that Volvo really messed up with the, or not Volvo, Volkswagen really messed up with that. So, well, she bought a new car. So she's not driving our car anymore. It's not a Volvo, it's a Volkswagen. I don't want to malign Volvo because I think Volvos are nice cars. I thought Volkswagens were, but my sister's haunted Volkswagen tells a different story. Okay, so we are done. So let's review the inserts for envelope E2. All right, so this is envelope E2. It goes on the back of the second full-sized page. All right. And this is 5x7 for an enlargement of whatever, your favorite photos. This is our Franken paper, which we made out of scraps. Here on the inside, we have mats for 4 full-size 4x6 photos plus journaling. And then, like I said, I like to keep the backs plain so they go in and out of the envelopes easier. Then we have the Quattro Polaroid. And on the back is another Quattro Polaroid. So this is actually an octaroid. This is an octaroid. So we have an octaroid this time. Here's our medium size insert. For the record, we are making photographs to understand what our lives mean to us. Got a cute little remember the good times, place to do a little bit of journaling. On the inside, room for 4 more 4x6 photos. So we're up to 4 4x6 photos plus 8 4x4 photos. So no, we're not up to 4. We're up to 8 4x6 photos and 8 4x4 photos. So that's 16 photos so far. The one we just did, this is the one for portraits. Got a little insert right here. 2 more portraits. So 10 4x6 photos in this pocket and 8 4x4 photos for the gram. All right, so close it all up. So that is page 2, or the second of the full-size envelopes. So what we'll do now is I'll add it to our stack, and let's flip through the stack to remember what we've done so far. So just as a reminder, this book holds 2 different size photos, okay? In the same spine. I know it's been a while, so let's, like this, okay? So see how we have big pages and small pages in the same book? All right. So this is the page, mini page A. It's the first one. Yes, I still have that. It was a 7 Gypsies journaling stamp set, and I still have it. Lots of inserts in these 3 pockets. These are the insides of the frame punches. They're from what got punched out of these with the frame punch. Journaling on the back, which is journaling basics from Paper Phenomenon. 2 enlargements here, and then it's left, I left it open on this end so we can stick it in the book because it's not in the book yet. So in the book, this gets slid over the spine, and then this opens with a magnet to fold straight out. So it's a fold out page. This is full-size page A, and flip up for 4x6, and then we have 4x6, room for 4x6 tags. Flip down for 4x6, flip up for 5x7 and 4x4, and then here we've made a pocket that you can just stick folders in. Photography is a love affair with life. You can stick memorabilia in this folder. We've got a 5x7, we've got a 4x6. You can put memorabilia, whatever. And then here we've made some file folder pages. So they're not folders, but they're tabbed like a file folder to hold 4x6 photos, portrait and landscape. And then again, more of the tags with room for 4x6 photos. So that's full-size page style A. And the full-size pages have envelopes on the back. This is envelope style E if you have the Album Basics guide for this. And then we've done the same inserts. So we've got the tall insert for the portraits. We've got the medium-sized insert for the 4x6 landscapes. This one we did the back with 4x6 photos to add 2 more 4x6 photos, but I like the Octoroid more, I think. And then here's another one of our quilted pages with room for journaling and photos on the inside. Of course, I keep the backs plain. Thank you, Donna. We made big button and string closures because these envelopes are big. All right, and this goes on the back of that. And then in between it and the next one is this. So this flips up. You can put smaller photos here if you want to. 4x4 photo there, and then file Polaroids. So Polaroids with journaling spots on the back. So Polaroids in the pocket. You could just do them folders or Polaroids on the front and the back. And then on the back of this one, so this one doesn't fold out, it just has a front and a back. On the back of this one is one of these smaller envelopes, which also has a quilt on the inside. How cute is that? Room for 4x6 or 4x4 photo. Room for 2 4x6 photos here. I forgot we did the frame. There's that frame that we did where we mitered the corners. So that's a pretty cool insert. It's designed to look like a Polaroid. So that goes on the back of mini page style B. And then this is large page style B. Okay, so it has the same closure with the 4x6 photos underneath and the 4x6 tags in the pockets. Then again, the enlargement up here with the 4x4. And then we've got these file folder tabs. Yes, in this video's description, there's a link to the Split Decision Album Basics Guide, which will get you, it's not, Album Basics Guides are not step-by-step written tutorials with photos. What they are is video tutorials for how to make an album's elements, and then suggestions for how to put those elements together, plus a cutting guide, so you know what all the measurements are and how much paper each element takes. Because like the idea is you can set this up however you want. You don't have to use one of each like I'm doing. You could make an album that was only the small ones or only your favorite one or whatever. So it's not how to make a specific album from A to B. It's a blueprint. It teaches you how to make each of these pages, but you also get all of the videos from the live classes where I do the decorating, and I do all the decorating live, so you see all of it. So if you want to make this exact one, you can by following along with those decorating videos. And so, yes, you can make this book exactly, or you can make several books from the basics guide that are totally different. So we have another use of the 4x6 card on the front, and then a photo mat on the back, more inserts. And I've only used the Photobomb paper and the Journaling Basics paper in this book, so there's nothing else you have to get. I mean the cardstock, I guess. You need a ton of cardstock. All right, so here's more Polaroids. We've got 3 of them in here, and these are all tabbed like file folders. And then we have 2 of these Polaroids to hold 4 4x6 photos on each. So there's 8 4x6 photos just in this pocket, just in that one pocket. All right, and then what we just did. So this is what we just did just now. We did these today. So these are the ones we just did. Yes, there are SVG files now for the Polaroids. So for the double Polaroid and the quad Polaroid. So yes, Barbara made those. So thank you, Barbara. So there's bonus SVGs. Yep. Yep. And brother cutting files too. Yes, Barbara made those too. All right, so that's what we've done so far. So we're over halfway now, right? Yes, because we've done 4 of that, 4 pages, 2 small, 2 large, and there's 7 total in the book. So we are over halfway point. So we're over halfway. So next thing we're going to work on will be mini page C, which is this one. So we've already done all the construction and matting for all the pages. Of course, that's all on video. So we just need to make the inserts for these. This one has this pocket and this pocket. So we just have to figure out what we're going to, and here we followed the design of the paper. So this is what's next. So let me think, what time is it? 10:40, 20 minutes. Okay, so let's see. Oh, she also has put a 5x7 pinwheel in there, but it doesn't cut a 5x7 pinwheel. It cuts 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mats, so you don't have to trim them down when you're done, but it still cuts out 4 from one 12x12. That's another SVG that's in there as well. And I think she did the binding too, right? I think she did the binding too. All right, so Gretchen says, I am not a we, and the we are halfway done. Aw, Gretchen. Well, that's okay. Craft at your own pace. It's supposed to be fun. It's not a job. All right, she did do the binding. All right, so she did a lot. Okay, let me, should we just wait and whip this one together next week? What should we do? I don't want to like make one insert. And I feel like I've been really slow today. So oh, Gretchen's trying to get her DDD Volume 2, her Triple D Volume 2 album done this week. So you did half of Triple D. That album was another reason why I didn't get a lot of projects done in 2019. Didn't we do that one in 2019? If we did that one in 2019, then that explains a lot. We also did... So I think I am going to pick up here next week and just end it a little bit early tonight. When I take paper to be printed, do I compile the pages or does the printer do that? Ellen, you need to, yeah, you have to tell them how many of each file you want printed. But you can just say, just print 2 of all of these. Maybe we did it in 2018, I can't remember. I would have to look. I know 2019, we were in the middle of something at the beginning of the year, and I took a break from it to do something else. I don't remember. I don't remember. So, yeah, so what you can do, Ellen, is you can make them folders that's like print 2 of each, print 4 of each if there's ones you want more of, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, you do need to tell them how many of each one you want and whether you want them double-sided, which that costs more, so I wouldn't do it. I would just do single-sided. Then you don't waste it anyway. Because double-sided usually costs more than twice as much as single-sided. So it's just cheaper to get it all single-sided, and then you don't lose patterns. But what you can also do is if you go to like a local print shop, not like a Staples or a Kinko's or whatever, but like a mom and pop, you can take in your thumb drive and you can talk to them, you know, and show them the files, and you talk about like what you want, what you're trying to do with them, and they can help you pick a paper to use and all that kind of stuff, and find out if do you want to cut down to 12 by 12 or do you want to leave it raw and cut it down yourself and save some money. Like, you can go over all of that with them, and they should be able to help you. All right, so I'm going to head out just a little bit early. Next week we will do this one really quickly because it's only 4 inserts, and we should be able to get the envelope on the back of it done as well next week. So I will be back at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time next Thursday, which will be the 9th, Thursday, January 9th. So, and we'll pick up on this page, which is mini page C, I believe. So, that's what we'll be doing next week. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I'm so glad to be starting another year with all of you. I think we're going to have just as much fun in 2020 as we had on the show in 2019. So I'm looking forward to all of that. I'm looking forward to book club. Be sure to vote on book club, which is in the Facebook group. There's a link to the Facebook group in the video description. There's a link to the album basics guide for this in the video description as well, and links to the paper, all of that. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend, stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.